Unit 5, featuring Wayne.
Kate.
And Talon. Hopefully that's loud enough.
Something easy for Unit 1 was significant figures because we were able to learn how they worked prior to even being in chemistry. Something hard for Unit 1 was dimensional analysis because there's a lot of math behind it and you have to understand what goes where and how it works. And then something for the newbies to know is definitely get ahead in this unit. I think this unit is easy enough to get ahead and to make sure that you understand everything that goes on throughout this unit.
Most difficult thing for Unit 2 was the light math and equations because it was very difficult to understand how to do the math and very difficult to do it on your calculator. Something very easy for Unit 2 was the electron configurations because it's very easy to follow through your periodic table and understand it in that unit. And something for the newbies is to take advantage of your periodic table and write as many things down as possible to make it easier to get how to do the electron configurations and get the periodic table. And remember to do your vodcast because if you don't do your vodcast in Unit 2, you're going to have a very tough time.
Very tough time.
The hardest part for Unit 3 would be Lewis structures because you're given a lot of information and have to decide what type of bonds it is, how many there are, and how many electrons there are. The easiest part of Unit 3 would be deciding if it's ionic, metallic, or covalent because you're given all the information, you just have to apply it to your periodic table. Advice for newbies would be don't try to do everything in your head and make sure you draw everything out. For Unit 4, the easiest part was knowing the prefixes because from other units we had already learned them, so just putting them into this unit made it easy. The hardest part for Unit 4 would be all of the memorization because you're given a lot of information that you have to put together and a lot of them look the same, so deciphering between the words is kind of tricky. For newbies, definitely memorize everything before the unit starts with your vodcast so that way you know everything about the unit.
The easiest thing for Unit 5 was doing dimensional analysis from converting volume to moles or mass to moles to particles because we've done dimensional analysis in previous units. And the hardest thing was finding a molecular formula because there's multiple steps behind it that are very confusing, and you have to go from dimensional analysis to finding the empirical formula and then finding the molecular formula. And then for newbies, it makes it a lot easier if you write everything down from the Moodles because you can use those answers from the Moodles to help you on the test and maybe help you on the semester exam.
So the easiest thing for the first semester of chemistry, I'd say, is knowing the difference between definite and indefinite for liquids, gases, and solids. The hardest thing was drawing out Lewis structures. I think having to take the time to do all that and during the test is kind of time consuming. And then the thing for newbies, I think, would be stay on pace, watch all the vodcasts, and have fun, I guess. Cool.